Ngayong federal election, Siyam na Pilipino ang kumakandidato para maging members of parliament. Sa kasaysayan ng Canada, 2 Pilipino pa lamang ang matagumpay na nakakuha ng pwesto sa House of Commons. Sa ulat ni Teresa Redula, hinimay po ng OMNI News kung ano nga ba ang kailangan para sa isang matagumpay na kandidatura at makasungkit ng pwesto sa Ottawa.
Ang mga sandaling ito noong halalan 2021, itinuturing ng marami na malaking tagumpay hindi lamang para kay Richie Valdez, kundi pati na rin sa representasyon ng mga Pilipino sa federal government.
It was one of disbelief. Actually, I just couldn't believe it and I almost had to let it all sink in. So it took me a good 30 seconds to just let it all hit me.
Sa loob ng nagdaang 4 na taon, siya'y naging Minister of Small Business at Chief Government Whip sa gabinete ng 2 Prime Ministers. Ngayong halalan 2025, muling sumasabak si Valdez bilang Liberal candidate ng Mississauga-Streetsville sa Ontario. Bukod sa kanya, may 8 ring Pilipinong sinusubok maging bahagi ng House of Commons bilang Member of Parliament. Si Benjamin Abis, NDP candidate sa Etobicoke North. Si Linnea Lofstrom Avery, NDP candidate sa Don Valley West. Margie Ramos, Conservative candidate sa Ahuntsic Cartierville. Rachel Punzalan, Conservative candidate sa Winnipeg North. Si Lita Cruz Cabal, Conservative candidate sa Vancouver East. Si Lawrence Singh, Independent candidate sa New Westminster Burnaby, Maillardville. Jayden Baldonado, Green Party candidate sa Calgary Center. At si Desiderio Magtanggol Reyes, PPC candidate sa Vancouver Fraserview, South Burnaby.
What does it take po for a community member to win a seat again in the House of Commons?
If you can take those times in between, will help a lot in understanding the process. You just do not jump in because there's an election. If you have a record of achievement in your own career, then that is a basis for credibility. Okay? If you have no baggage in the community and you are positive, then they know that will be your attitude when you go to politics. Okay? If you have done real community service, volunteering here, helping here, on your own, long before you entered politics, then they know that your purpose in politics is not so much about power for yourself, but really for the people, service to the people.
Mahalaga rin daw ang malaking suportang makakalap, malakas na mensahe, pati na rin ang timing sa pulso ng komunidad para magtagumpay ang isang Pilipinong kandidato, ayon sa kauna-unahang Canada-born Filipino member of the Legislative Assembly sa Manitoba.
Canadian-born ako, pero yung puso ko Pinoy, and my mom taught me, you need to have kapal na mukha. Meaning that you have to have thick skin to the audience, regardless of what people say, with respect to seeking office, seeking nomination, going to political office. That individual has to have a drive and desire to truly help the people. And they can't do it alone.
Sipagtakha na siyang kauna-unahang Pilipinong Member of Parliament sa kasaysayan ng Canada. Sinabing posible pa ring magwagi ang mga kandidatong katunggali, ang mga kandidatong matagal nang nauupo sa riding, gaya ng kanyang tagumpay noon.
Members of the Liberal Party were telling me, Ray, that is not a winnable riding. What do you mean? We have never won it. In the history of Canada, we had never won until then Winnipeg North for a Liberal, for 26 consistent years. So they call it a giant victory, because nobody was expecting. I was not expecting as I would go on, Then I concluded there is a personal factor. In other words, they must have voted for me because of who I am over and above my party.
Nasa 1 milyon na ang populasyon ng mga Pilipino sa Canada. Gayunpaman malaking katanungan daw sa marami kung bakit umabot ng 17 taon bago muling magkaroon ng Pilipinong Member of Parliament.
It could be due to a variety of reasons. People were afraid to run, or they ran and they did not win, okay, because we had people who were running, and or it was just not their cup of tea, okay? It was the fear of the unknown.
Historically, many Filipinos have come to Canada as supporting the workforce, the labor force. Many of them are not in high executive positions. But it's changed now.
Ang Ang pagbabagong itinuturo ni Reyes, makikita raw sa pakikiisa ng mga Pilipino ngayong halalan, di man bilang mga kandidato, kundi bilang mga mamamayang nais matugunan ang mga isyung mahalaga sa kanila at sa komunidad na kanilang kinabibilangan.
We had a weekend called Filipinos for Richie, and we had Filipinos, believe it or not, from as far west as British Columbia, and all across the GTA come here to support.
We are actively interested in politics, okay? That I have observed. Of the many who have run for offices at the school board level, council level, or legislature, or being appointed, you know. So that is very, very important.
Paalala ni Napagtakhan at Reyes, magwagi man sa halalan, pangunahing dapat isipin ng sino mang tatakbo para maupo sa House of Commons, serbisyo sa halip na kapangyarihan. Paniniwalang malaking tulong daw sakaling maluklok sa pwesto at maharap sa pagsubok.
An Alliance MP, Roy Bailey, told this Saskatchewan newspaper, the Star Phoenix, that Pagdican's Asiatic background would not make him a good Veterans Affairs minister because he's not originally Canadian. Bailey also calls him, quote, the Chinese chap, when Pagdican was actually born in the Philippines. When asked about this and if it was racist, Bailey denied it and said he was misquoted.
Well, as I said, it is I feel very saddened that it would have even occurred to his mindset at all. I think Canadians can be very proud and have been very welcoming. I am prepared to accept his apology.
Ang karanasan ni Pagtakhan noong 2002, hindi nalalayo sa hinarap ni Valdez makalipas ang halos 2 dekada.
Being the only voice, it was challenging because not very many people look like me on Parliament Hill. And I would continue to approach and like walk into spaces on Parliament Hill, and I'd always continually get ID'd. Even as a federal minister, I still continue to get ID'd on Parliament Hill.
Sa darating na April 28, araw ng halalan, umaasa sina Reyes, Pagtakhan at Valdez na maipagpapatuloy ang representasyon ng mga Pilipino sa federal government.
We need more elected officials. We need, regardless of party. That's how the voices of our kabayans are going to be heard. You know, it just takes a lot of desire and passion and drive for a candidate to run.
To me, it doesn't matter what you run for, whether under the Tory, the NDP, or the Conservative, or the Liberal. In so long as you become civically engaged and you know your purpose, you must be a beacon of trustworthiness and hence no baggage, okay? Very ethical, okay? And really surrendering yourself for public service, for the common good. And the common good always means you include the marginalized by definition, those who need most.
That representation must continue to happen. A 17-year gap between Dr. Pagdican and me. We can no longer have those gaps.
Teresa Redula, OMNI News, Toronto.